Hey, what's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of The Small Guy on Main Street. I'm your host, Jairo Parra, and this is where I give you all the information I get, right? I'm passing this information to you from many sources, talking to people, reading articles, listening to other podcasts or news articles, wherever it comes from, right? I'm giving it to you, right? With my take, hopefully you could relate better to that, but we're giving it a shot, right? So here we are, and uh, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comments, right? Give me feedback. I really don't care what you critique me on, but please be gentle. But all right, today's topic: what is dangerous and what is scary. We tend to put those two together, right? We usually tend to say they're the same, right? Something that is scary is usually dangerous. Something that is dangerous is scary. But that's not true. Well, not entirely true. You see, you have to differentiate from both, right? Something that is scary is not entirely dangerous. And something that is dangerous can be scary, right? And that's what we're touching on, right? Why? Well, is it scary to go into business? Is it scary to throw yourself out there and make yourself vulnerable? Is it scary to know you're putting money into something that may not flourish or may not have success? Is it scary to know what's going to happen, right? We don't know, all right? So that is why we're covering this, right? I think it's something you need to put into your mind, right? I read a few books that have touched this topic, and they have said that scary is mental and dangerous it's like real life, right? Something that could potentially happen. So here's my take to it, right? Scary refers to something that induces fear or anxiety, often due to its unsettling nature, like horror movies or spooky stories. It's more about the emotional response, right? Now, it comes to being a thought, right? Meaning that it's something we control fully, right? That is the hard part. If you are in control of your mind, then you can control this, right? And that's one of the things that you have to know about yourself and know where you stand. If your mind, your body, and your soul are in one, um, knowing that is if it's scary, it's controllable, right? You got to know, well, why is it scary? Why is this affecting me a certain way? Or, what is the fear that I'm having, and how can I, mitigate it, or how can I remove it? So that that's the part of fear, right? That is mental, that it's in your mind, and you could do something about it, right? Many things we want to do are scary because we don't know the outcome, but they are not dangerous, right? Scary to know you will fail. Scary to know where your next meal may come from. Scary to know you will be made fun of. It's scary to know you will never reach your full potential as a human because you are scared to do something that will not kill you, right? I mean, what more can I say? Right? It is, I mean, the thought, right? The thoughts, that's the thing. The thought, you know, of losing something is scary. The thought of not being successful is scary. The thought of going broke is scary. The thought of, you know, anything really is scary. But that is the thing. It is the thought, right? And that's where you have to practice as well, is that these are negative thoughts, in all realness. They are thoughts that they should not be lingering in your mind, right? Entrepreneurship is a motherfucker. It really is. There's so many things to it that negative thoughts should not have a space, man. It really doesn't. If I could tell you how many times fear came up to my mind and it said, when I go and do this event, when I go and do this recording, I might fail and I might fuck up and I might say something. But I said it has to be done. It has to happen because I need to make it happen, right? So the fear rose up a little bit, but I quickly shut it down. I said, I don't care what fear, what may happen. If I'm control, then I need to find a way to make it not come true, right? Whatever the thought was. And if you need to write down the plan, very detailed plan, then that's what it's gonna take. I'm sorry, that's gonna be a lot more work than other people, but everybody's different, right? Some people were just gonna wing it, right? And that's what works for them, right? Why can't it work for you? But I have had fear, but what can I do? It's not gonna go away. I know I can never remove it completely. That is a human nature. That is an emotion that we live on, right? We need fear. Fear is good, right? But we cannot let it linger. We cannot let it control us. We cannot let it be have its own space in our mind, in our capacity, in our thoughts, and in our life, right? In that sense. So know that, right? And make changes to address that. Now, dangerous, right? On the other hand, it implies the risk of harm or injury. It describes situations or things that could cause physical danger, like a steep cliff or a wild animal, right? If you were to be confronted by a wild coyote, right? Usually, coyotes are out here in the city streets. That's what I'm saying, wild coyote. Even a wild dog, in a sense, right? But usually they're more chill. But coyotes, yeah, imagine that, right? So, if you're living somewhere in Chicago, you probably come up with other creatures and animals. So, you know, if that's for you, then just know, right? But that is dangerous, right? Dangerous is an actual event that may cause harm and it can be lethal, right? There is not many dangerous businesses to own and operate, and truly maybe manufacturing, right? And and even then, right? When I say like a dangerous business to own is manufacturing, and this could be a pharmaceutical or something with heavy machinery or something that's mixing chemicals, right? Chances are you're getting into this industry because you know the industry. You know if you're mixing X, you know, liquid with Y compound or solvent or anything of that sense or that matter, you know what's gonna be, right? You know the outcome, and obviously, you have recipes to follow, so it's not like you're just guessing. You could experiment, but you still won't probably know what is the typical reaction, right? But still, that is close to dangerous as it may be, right? A non-legal business or thing to do will be being a drug runner, right? They make money, right? You're a drug runner. You're making fast money, but guess what? That is dangerous work, right? If they don't kill you, you're gonna get prison for a while, right? So, you know, you gotta think about that. Now, construction, construction business is dangerous, but there are controllable measures, right? That are set to eliminate threats. right? Now, of course, if you neglect that, then guess what? Something's gonna happen, right? So, you know, that is a dangerous business to a certain extent. Um, if you have workers, then it could be dangerous for them. If if you're sitting in the office, but you got to still obviously treat their life just as well as you treat yours, right? And think about all those threats that may be there or present in any site, right? Um, Owning a liquor store in a bad neighborhood without bulletproof glass, that could also be a dangerous situation, right? You probably run into suspicious characters, theft, and well, things may just not be good every single night, you know. So, of course, controllable measures you could take, right, to eliminate that threat. But these are the things that you have to recognize and know when you're getting into this. Now, um, let's say my thing, right? For me, um, my thing is scary. What I'm doing with the podcast and having people come to the show and I'm going to their business, right? My thing is scary because I don't want to fail in misrepresenting them, right? The One of the worst things that I could do is not do it right when I'm talking about their story and I'm talking about their business, right? I don't want to anything that is inaccurate, right? That's for me is scary, right? Because I would have failed. I would have put them through a bad experience and put bad information out there. But like I said, for me, I control it by really doing my homework, getting as much facts, as much information as I could do, and just putting out there, what I know is to be true, right? The only thing that is dangerous, right? What is dangerous is that when I'm on the streets, right? I have to be on the streets. I physically have to be on the streets with my equipment, right? That could be the dangerous thing because I could be at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? And guess what? If somebody wants to come up on my equipment, either I lose a few $1,000s or I lose a life, right? And that's gonna be the realness, right? That's just what is gonna be out there. So I have to know that, right? It might not be in my best interest to try to go at nighttime, right? Sometimes I might have to, but I have to know what precautions I could take and how to approach every situation, right? So, that's for me, but like you got to know what you're into and what you're doing, right? Do your homework, you write it down, whatever you need to do, right? But you have to realize that for whatever type of industry and business you have. Now, in summary, scary evokes fear, while dangerous evokes a potential threat to safety. All could be prevented. There are, like I said, controllable measures. But let me leave you with this, right? Think about when was the last time you did something dangerous, really, right? Not scary, dangerous, right? Because a roller coaster could be scary, right? Going to a theme park in Halloween, could be scary, right? Think about when was the last time you did something scary, right? Um, think about what went through your head. What were your thoughts? Um, why you did it? And just if you could remember what happened, And I'm saying if you could do it when you voluntarily put yourself through it, right? Because I know when I was young, I put myself in situations, right? And I kind of, you know, I didn't voice out and I didn't say no, but I put myself in situations where we were you know in a vehicle, you know speeding through narrow streets and neighborhoods, right? I wasn't driving, I was just a passenger, right? So that was dangerous because these were narrow streets. Anybody could come out unexpectedly, and guess what? Bah! Right? We crashed, and I don't know what the fuck could have happened. So, um, you know, for you, you could be put in a situation involuntary, and that is a bad situation in general. But when you put yourself out there, right? When was it? How was it? What did you feel? What did you think? And chances are, when we were young, right, we were more risk takers. We felt a lot more invincible in that sense. But please know that you are still that same person, right? Yes, you may have things to lose, family, employment, your business, many things, right? But know the relationship to dangerous, to something being dangerous, and to something being scary, right? So please, hopefully you get some time to think about it, and hopefully this has helped you out a lot, right? It sure has to me. Other than that, I appreciate your time. I want to thank you for everything. Please don't forget to get in contact with me if you have any suggestions or anything you wish for me to cover, right? Um, don't forget my Instagram at small guy underscore on underscore main street. That's also for TikTok, YouTube, many social media channels. So don't forget, I appreciate your time. I love y'all. Keep hustling and don't be scared.